Now, at least one stakeholder with expertise in hosting international sporting events has suggested that the nation try to create its own event rather than bid to bring an international sporting event to the island. Jordan Ford tells us more in the final installment of this three-part series.
Apart from infrastructural development and a plethora of other economic factors, one of the major aspects of successfully hosting an international event is planning and coordination. Lecturer of the course Economics of Sports in the Department of Economics at the University of the West Indies, Dr. Christine Clark, says this is the aspect which would perhaps be most crucial for Jamaica considering the country's size.
There is going to be a heavy emphasis on coordination. I mean, the traffic police, all of those entities will have to come together because by then Mandela would have been widened. Hopefully, it will smooth some of that on and off ramp traffic and enable with some coordination with traffic police, because sometimes it's just a matter of overriding a light here or an on-ramp or off-ramp there that can help to smooth the flow.
And planning, she says, also has to do with which event the government decides to go for.
You're doing this because you have this burgeoning, for example, swimming program, and you just have so many students, 20, 30,000 coming up through the program who you can have a long-term impact on their children, and it will spread, etc.
It's one of the reasons CEO of Cricket World Cup 2007, Chris Daring, believes hosting a track and field event may not be the way to go.
Track and field, for instance, is not very big in the US, yet our biggest market. As a television sport, it's not very big in the US, but our tourism market is mainly out of the US. So is that going to be the right type of, from a commercial investment, is that going to be the right investment, and so on?
So instead of hosting a major international sporting event, Daring had this suggestion to decision makers.
I would say we are very well suited for lots of small events because we have a nice geographic location, proximity to the US. There are hundreds and thousands of teams, of tournaments that take place all across the US that we're really a stone's throw away. We can attract a lot of those types of tournaments, create our own events. That's also very useful because if you create your own events rather than having somebody else's hosting somebody's event, all the various rights belong to you. Television rights, sponsorship rights, ticketing rights, and so on, tour and hospitality rights. So you can maximize or optimize the sort of expenditure versus revenue.
Jordan Fort for TVJ Sports.